if you have to tell Leo, Harry, and all them you're going to leave.
That was tough, man.
How'd you do it?
You catch on to the things that really matter. But I'll tell you, that was one of the toughest things I've ever done in my life, because Leo Jackson was and is to this day like a father to me. I mean, he is. I don't have more respect for anybody on earth than him. And to do that, I knew I didn't really want to leave. I wasn't looking to leave. But Kurt Shelmerdine had retired. So here's the premier crew chief job in the sport is available. I didn't go looking for it. You remember Terry Satchel? He was an engineer back at GM that I used early on. I was one of the first ones in the garage to really embrace engineering, and I had him working with me. And then he ended up kind of transitioned to all of the GM teams, working with everybody. And he was telling me, you need to go over there and, I think you could help them a lot, man. I think you could. You need to go over there, get that job. It's just, we just won, we're winning races over with Harry. Everything's going good. But Harry is 52 years old now.
Yeah.
I want to win a championship. And I know it's, I actually tried to get Leo to hire Jeff Gordon, and he wouldn't do it. And so I'm kind of at a dead end on that. Jeff was just driving in the Busch Series. And then, so this happens that Terry Satchel said something to Richard, and then Richard ends up calling me one day. I'm like, okay, man, I guess I got to go. I just got to go see.
Yeah.
So I take my two boys, they were young at the time, and my wife, and we go drive down there on Sunday. This was after the season's over in '92. And I go pull up in the parking lot, and there's two cars in the lot. And so I walk into what's now the museum, but that was the main shop. And I walk over into Richard's office, and there sits Richard and your dad. He shows up on Sunday to meet me. And that right there was that meant a lot, right? The best driver in the sport wants me to come there, and enough to show up on Sunday.
Yeah.
So we sat there and we talked about it. And by the time, I left the room, I decided to take it. And but I said, I really do need to talk to my family about it before I make the final decision, but I'll let you know.
Feeling good about it.
So I get out you'll love this. I get out the car and start talking to the kids, and we're driving a little bit. I said, I just make sure that we're making the right decision here. I said, what do y'all really want me to do? And my son, Joey, says, I don't care as long as it's Earnhardt. He
That's
wanted,
pretty awesome.
yeah, that's what he wanted.
What